like to hear what they have to say about your application. The prosecutrix informs me that she has received the papers yesterday. She says it's a notice of motion, but they have not yet answered. I'm told that the Department of Correctional Services, Minister of Police, and the Commissioner are also cited, but I don't even know whether the papers were served on them. So, for all intents and purposes, Mr. Moela, that application is not before me. Let us wait for them to answer and for you to reply, and a court date will be allocated for the matter to be ventilated. So, for all intents and purposes, now where we are, there is no application before me. I have not seen your papers, and I'm not interested in seeing them now until after all sets of affidavits have been filed by all people who have a material interest in the matter. You indicated to me that you want an opportunity to consult with your client, which opportunity I gave you. And you also intimated that you might request that the matter be postponed to sometime maybe in next week or so. I would want to hear from you now, when it comes to the postponement, what is the situation? Whether Mr. Mshe will be arguing the application or whether he will be conducting the trial on behalf of accused number 7 is at this stage neither here nor there when it comes to these proceedings. You are satisfied that in order to protect your client's rights, you have consulted with him, and if not, I will give you another opportunity to consult with him in the cells after I've postponed the matter. We have facilities for that. You can consult with him. Is there anything else?
Yes, Madam, I mean, you're looking for commenting on that aspect of SC. I don't understand how you featured. It found its way, but it's irrelevant for what I said and what I'm going to say.
I agree with you on that score.
Yes.
Yes.
So, in respect of the postponement, it was predicated on what I said, that because the application, because obviously I think I just need to say this for less than 2 minutes. Because of the challenges that we've been having, each and every time we request a consultation, we are given a maximum of 2 hours, and in those 2 hours we must gather the information, write notes, and under difficult circumstances. So after having set up plethora of consultation, we finalized the application. Now, it would have been served by at least Monday under the circumstances. Or sometimes we were even told by the correctional service that they did us a huge favor by giving us 3 days, that's 6 hours, because other inmates could not. So that means our consultation are also dependent or other ways of correctional service. So after having that done, after having done that, finalized the application on Friday, for it to be commissioned, we had to ask for an urgent consultation, which was only granted yesterday. That's the reason why this application is then commissioned and filed on the 11th, not filed, served on the 11th hour. It was served on other parties, but what was not served is the prescription of timeline. And that's what we said. We're going to seek directives from this court. But from what I understand, the court is saying, Mr. Moela, go and prescribe the time.
Yes, Mr. Moela, if you bring it on an urgent basis, you can prescribe the timelines. If you bring it in the ordinary course, the rules prescribe that. It's not for me to prescribe how you should bring your notice of motion. So let me make the following suggestion, Mr. Moela. Don't you want to rather consult with your client fully today? Decide whether you're going to move your application and in what form you're going to move it. Either from the bar or whether you're going to proceed by way of notice of motion, because I hear you saying it's not a notice of motion. So do that. It seems to me at this stage that the matter is in any event not ripe for trial, because we have the issue of accused numbers 3 and 6 who want to apply for legal aid. So they must first be assessed in order to see whether they meet the means test. And should they meet the means test, legal aid will either have one of their practitioners appear on their behalf or more practitioners, or they will appoint judicial legal representatives. That gives you more time to settle your application and make sure that everything that has to be done is done. And it might be a very short postponement, but at least it will give you time to consider your next step. Will that be fine with you?
Yes, with modification, my lord.
Yes.
The application is ready. All this point that your lordship is posing.
But it can't be ready, application can't be ready if there's no answering papers, if it has not been served. Then it's not ready.
I'm talking about from my side, our side, then our papers are in order. In other words, there's no further instruction in respect of finalizing the papers. That's not that the application is ready for hearing. What I'm talking about is that the application from the accused point of view.
So you need to consult with him with regard to the application.
No, the consultation,
because it's done.
The consultation is just the right to consult because now he's charged and then this matter is pending. So because now it's brought before this court.
Let's do it one step at a time.
Yes.
For the application that you desire to move, you have consulted, the founding affidavit is complete, you don't need to consult about that application.
Yes.
Good. The consultation that you are referring to are the consultations with regard to the trial of the matter.
Yes. Thank you, my lord.
Yes, now let's deal with the application. You will then serve the application on all those cited, and if they are so advised, they may file their answering affidavits. You will reply at the opportune time, and obviously you will need time to consult with your client. That is something else. Now, let's get back to the pre-trial proceedings. Accused number 3 and 6 currently do not have legal representation. I am minded and inclined to give them an opportunity to apply to the Legal Aid South Africa, for Legal Aid South Africa to appoint attorneys or legal representatives to appear on their behalf if they qualify at this stage. That postponement will be, and depending on what the other parties are saying, will be a very short postponement. That is normally how it is done in this division, so that they get legal representation. The legal representatives will consult with them and indicate whether they are trial ready. So for now, Mr. Muela, unless there's anything else that you want to add, I want to turn my attention to the other accused persons.
Nothing, my lord.
Nothing.
But nothing is...
No, if you say nothing but, then there is something.
Okay, I don't want to waste time, my lord. But, I don't want to...
No, it's fine. I have the time. I've dealt with the pre-trials before we called this case.
Thank you, my lord. I've been speaking with so much speed. I'm normally a calm person. So...
Take your time.
We need that issue of consultation, because sometimes I've been told by the accused that immediately when the court adjourns, they take him. But if your lordship clarify that his hours is before your lordship,
How much time do you need?
Would need him at the end of business day.
But you understand that there might be practical problems with that. He must still be transported to Pretoria, I think, is where the prison is, where he is kept.
Yes, but my lord...
Let's settle it this way. You and Advocate Bester will please come and see me in chambers, after the matter has been postponed, I will request the police officers as well as members of correctional services not to remove your client now or after the postponement, pending the agreement and arrangement reached between the two of you in chambers, which will then be communicated to them. But I think we should please try and be reasonable. If he is kept here until the end of the day and he must still be transported to Pretoria, there might be some practical problems involved. So let's try and keep it within reason. We will postpone, I'll postpone the matter. You and Ms. Bester can then come and see me in chambers.
Is it Mrs.
Can I
Court?
just confirm if everything
Yes, yes.
Yeah, nothing about it. Don't worry.
There are two issues that I also said.
Yes.
But is that problem that now I've shifted from my device to this region?
No problem.
One, these are just security issues that are happening now. There is a Mr. Maswangani that I'm informed that he's the head of EST and that he's been making the life difficult for my client in the consultation cells. In other words, even where the accused person, as he informs me this morning, that he was allowed, but he was advised by the head of prison, Mr. Kabengo, from Correctional Service, Postponement, that he can consult with the co-accused as long as they are his witness. And he was told that there's nothing stopping him from that, but when he got here, this Mr. Masongani then specifically says that there must be a court order to that effect.
No, but Mr. Moela, look, I think we are now going around in circles. Earlier this morning in my chambers when you and Ms. Bester were there, you asked me for time to consult with your client and you did consult with him. So I don't understand your argument now with regard to the barriers or challenges for you to consult with him. You did it this morning right here in the court cells. I can see no impediment why you can't do the same within reasonable limits, of course, after the matter has been postponed. But as I said, between you, Ms. Bester, and I, that matter can be resolved.
I accept that aspect, but it's one of the instructions that I'd forgotten, but because of the much needed intervention from your lordship, I think that is the best under the circumstance.
Yes.
Let's try to resolve it together with the issue of having him until, because it's part and parcel of the consultation.
Yes.
In that respect, my lord, I don't think that I have anything to say.
Yes, that is. Thank you, Mr. Moela. Mr. Dlamini, we now have Mr. Mururi's clients, 3 and 6, accused numbers 3 and 6, who do not have any legal representation. I intend to postpone the matter for a week or so in order to sort that out.
My lord, I guess we don't have an option. We are bound to adhere to their request to be afforded an opportunity to have their legal representation. However, my lord, there are two aspects which I also wish to place it on record. My lord will remember that on the previous appearance, I raised the issue with regard to the incompleteness of the indictment.
Yes.
And my lord made an order that the state should provide the defense with a completed indictment within 7 working days. That has been complied with.
Not been complied with.
It has been
It
complied.
has been.
It
Okay.
has been complied.
5 years.
And secondly, my lord, there was an issue with regard to our reply to notice in terms of section 212B. We are certain that it was served and filed on the 19th day of February 2024. We've got a copy thereof, and if it is not in the court file, my lord, we are more than willing to make a copy available.
Okay, fine. That is only with regard to accused number 1.
That is only in
Yes,
relation
no,
to
it's fine.
case number 1.
Yeah.
Yes, my lord. And as far as that is concerned, that will be all from our side.
Thank you. Mr. Mohamedi, for accused number 2.
Thank you, my lord. My lord, I'm also of the view that seeing that we are also on legal aid, we won't have instructions, and so we won't have an objection to accede to the request by accused 3 and 6 to have their legal representatives.
Thank you. Mr. Diba.